Post-show weight rebound. So this topic, it's all about why people rebound after a show and what to do about it. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Okay, so you're preparing for a show, you're dieting maybe 12 weeks, 20 weeks. You're doing lots of cardio, you're on a strict diet, you're on low calories. You do this and the goal is to step on stage looking your best. A week out comes, you follow a peak week plan, probably carb depleting, some water manipulation. You might carb load into the show. You might be using diuretics. You're probably using some form of supplement like a fat burner of some sort. You could be taking anti-estrogens, steroids, SARMs, other performance enhancing drugs. So a lot of things are happening to your body, and this is to look your best for this one day, okay? So let's just assume you make it to the show, you look amazing, you win the show, whatever, you looked awesome. The show is over and you're celebrating. So the first thing that people usually do is go and eat like crazy, okay? So it makes sense because you've been starving essentially for like 4 months. And so now you don't have to starve, so you eat like crazy. And you haven't been drinking water because you're trying to dry out, and so you want to look your leanest on stage. And so then you start pounding back the water, whatever, okay? It might be Gatorade, pop, whatever. The point is, your body has just gone through this dramatic diet. It doesn't know that you're dieting. Your body just knows that it's starving, essentially. So it has like an evolutionary way of survival. So it thinks that really that you're probably in the wilderness somewhere and you can't find food and that you're starving for 4 months. Then all of a sudden, you killed a deer or something and there's food everywhere. So what does your body want you to do? It wants you to eat until you can't eat anymore. The way a dog eats when it's like got food. It just eats itself sick, okay? And the reason for this is because, well, what if it's another 4 months before you can find some food? So it's like just telling you, like, just go crazy. The problem is that's not what's happening. It's not just gonna be one day where you found this killed deer or whatever. It's gonna be forever after this show until you decide to diet again. There's so much food available for us, okay? So what should you do? You should go easy on eating, but that's so much easier said than done, because it's kind of like heroin if you're like addicted to it and you can't stop and you need another fix. As soon as you start eating sugar, it's so addictive, you just want more and more and more. So I don't know if you guys have smoked weed or not, but say you have. It's legal in Canada, so maybe you did. You're gonna get the munchies, for example. But this post-food binge hunger type thing, it's worse. It's way worse. I've been doing shows for 25 years, and I've had shows where I've done the show and I've gained so much weight after that I couldn't breathe. And as soon as I could breathe, I would eat again. It's like you eat as much food as you can, then you eat as much chocolates as you can, and then you're like, okay, I just can't eat. And then a few hours go by and you're like, okay, I'm not in physical agony right now, so there's enough room for some more turtles. I'm gonna eat some more chocolate turtles. And you do that, and all of a sudden you're 30 pounds up, okay? So what's going on in your body? Okay, so you dehydrate and you're, say, 200 pounds on stage, shredded 200 pounds, okay, you're awesome. Then the show is over and you eat, and the next day you eat, and then you eat, and all of a sudden you are 230 and it's a week later, okay? There's a whole lot of extra fluid. It's not 30 pounds of fat that you gain. That would be impossible. Okay, 3,500 calories for a pound of fat. Even 10 pounds is 35,000 calories. Like, you're not eating that. Like, it's not easy to eat that much, okay? So you're gonna gain a lot of water. The water that you're holding is gonna increase your blood pressure. The increased blood pressure puts extra strain on your cardiovascular system. So if you have extra strain on your cardiovascular system, chances for heart attack go up, chances for a stroke go up, chances for all kinds of problems that I don't even need to list are going up. It's not, oh, it's cool, I just gained 30 pounds, look at me, I ate so much chocolate. And so many people brag about it, I see it online all the time. I put on 35 pounds in 3 days, I ate so much, I'm so cool, look at how much junk I ate, and I'm bragging about it. It's not Cool. It's a binge eating disorder to do this. You can't just eat as much as you can all the time. It's an eating disorder, okay? It's not good. So you don't want to gain so much weight that you're endangering your health. So what to do? You should go back on the diet that you followed leading up to the show after the show is over. I always tell people the hardest part of the diet is after the show is over, because there's no stage that you're going to step on in a bikini or in posing trunks and have to show off everything, okay? So after the show is done, it's so much harder to eat healthy. It's so much harder to eat with control. There's no longer that goal that you've had in your mind for like 4 months or years that you want to achieve. So it's just it's all willpower, and willpower is very, very hard to come by when there's no real reason to be using willpower, okay? You just don't see it. But your health should be reason enough, okay? You should be thinking, if I'm gaining this much weight, I could die. Now, if you think this could kill me, this next cheesecake, the chances are you're not going to eat it. But a lot of people don't understand the dangers, okay? You can't gain a ton of weight and be healthy after a show. It's not healthy. It's not like you're gaining a pound of fat here and there and you're eating a little bit. I'm talking, people are eating 10,000 calories a day. They're eating like pizza, cookies, crackers, boxes of it, not handfuls, boxes of this stuff. Their weight's going up like crazy. They went from having full six-pack to you can't even see abs in a week, that type of stuff, okay? You have to be careful. So if it does happen that you're that far out of whack and you check your blood pressure, you got to go to the doctor and go to the hospital, because you might need to get diuretics to get back into control. Okay, so if you get to the point where, you're swollen everywhere so bad and you're in pain and you get your blood pressure tested, like at the doctor, at the superstore or whatever, it's time to go to the doctor. So don't just ignore it and assume it's not. Now, but before, we don't want to get you to that point. So what do you do before that? Okay, after the show, do not chug a bazillion liters of water. It's just not going to work. I know I've heard a lot of people drink a lot of water, it'll flush you out. Okay, sure, cool. So I'm going to drink 4 liters of water right after the show. That's 9 pounds. And I'm going to probably pee 0 times. So I'm up 9 pounds right there. I'm probably going to eat a 16-inch pizza, and I'm probably going to eat a bunch of other desserts. And then I'm going to keep drinking more water and more water. And so then the next day I'm up 15 pounds. And this is one day. And then it's breakfast, and it's like, oh, this is awesome. Let's go eat all-you-can-eat buffet. You eat a lot of food, salt, thirsty, more water. Now you're up 20 pounds. And then you continue, and then you're up 25 pounds. And you think that you're flushing this out, but it's not. You're holding on to it. It's taking too long to flush out. By this point, it's already a problem. So slowly start drinking water again. You do not need to gain more than 5, 6, 7 pounds maybe after a show. I mean, it's like if you weighed 200 pounds and it's 8 o'clock at night, you just got off stage, and then you eat and the next morning you're 210 pounds, you're already up 10. That's way too much already. You did not need that much. Of course, drink some water, drink 2 or 3 liters if you want, that's fine. But just don't go crazy on the food. And then if you do eat a lot of food, just try to control your fluid intake. So try not to gain more than, say, 5% of your weight, because some people are only going to be 100 pounds. Some of you bikini girls, you shouldn't gain 10. That's even more crazy. Okay, so the next day, eat a normal breakfast, the type of breakfast that you'd eat like at a restaurant, and just don't go crazy. Don't order 6 meals. You can have your pancakes and something, but don't have the pancakes and the waffles and the bacon and the sausages and it just keeps going. And then it's Dairy Queen on the way home. And then, of course, McDonald's, we need 6 cheeseburgers. And of course, no, you have to stop. So after the breakfast, you go back to your normal diet, not the peak week diet that you're hardly eating. A diet from like a week or 2 before the show, month before, something that you're in control. And allow yourself to have 1 meal a day that's not on that plan, so that you can have like, maybe your mom's like gonna cook you supper to celebrate. And it's like, well, I can't eat, Mom. No, you gotta be able to have some kind of a normal life. So you go to your mom's and you eat a normal meal. okay? But the rest of the day you had your normal diet food. Maybe it was 4 French toast for breakfast. Maybe you had half a cup of rice and chicken and broccoli for lunch or whatever. Some like really healthy kind of good stuff that you're eating on your diet plan. But we have that one cheat a day, but it's not a cheat of a 16-inch pizza. It might be pizza, but it's only 3 or 4 slices, okay? And for girls, it's not 3 or 4 slices. It's 2 slices, okay? So be realistic. Let's see. What am I missing here that I'm talking about? Okay. I want to get into some eating disorders. So about 25% of people that compete end up with an eating disorder. If there's 100 people in a show, that means 25 probably have one, okay? It's a lot of people. So if you have one, you're not alone. It is extremely common, and it's just no one really talks about it, okay? It's kind of like a big secret thing because it's not cool, you know. Every year it seems like something else becomes okay to talk about, but really eating disorders has not been a common discussed thing. Mental health disorders now is becoming more common, for example. Just an example of like over the years, the stigma is not so bad. Maybe eventually eating disorder stigma won't be as bad and so people will come out, but there is a lot of people with eating disorders. Binge eating disorder, for example, where you're eating a ton of food, often in secret. You'll go to the store and you'll buy 20, 30 bucks worth of junk or the candy store, whatever, and then you just eat like crazy. Now, you watch all these guys' YouTube videos and Instagram videos and stories, and it's all, oh, I'm eating chicken and rice and broccoli and I'm a bodybuilder. But they don't show how many Blizzards, Dairy Queen ice cream cakes, and pizzas and French fries and all the junk. They're only showing you what they want to show you. They're not showing you the shit ton of junk food that they're eating, okay? So don't think that, oh, if you're cheating, then you're the only one. There's a lot of you that are. There's a lot of people that are, okay? So it's normal. It's just we don't want to get to the point where it's out of control. So binge eating disorder, way too often this is happening. It's not like once a week. Once a week you go out and eat like you're crazy. It's not a disorder. It's just you went out and ate like crazy. If it's every day, then yeah, that's a problem, okay? Now, oftentimes the binge eating, obviously, it's going to turn into bulimia because, well, you just ate 6,000 calories for supper, and what are you going to do? You don't want to get fat because everyone's judging you based on your appearance, so you throw up, so you lose it, okay? Some people will maybe do 5 hours of cardio and burn it off, okay, whatever. But it's not good to have to need to do this, obviously, so you don't want to do that. I'll give you some guidelines on how much weight you should gain. So 5% above your stage weight is absolutely normal, like right away. So if you're 200 pounds and you gain 10 pounds in the first week and you're 210, yeah, you probably will gain that or more. Because when you're 200 pounds on stage, you may have been 205 or 210 before the week even started, okay? So take your weight a week before the show, a week out. What did you weigh then? So say you were 200 pounds then, maybe 5% over that is normal, okay? So if you were 200 pounds shredded on stage, you might have been 210 a week out. If you're 220 and you're 200 on stage, that's probably an acceptable limit of how much weight you should gain. So for me, my last show, I weighed 193 or 93 and a half, something like that. And a week after, I was like 198 or 199. So I gained like 5 pounds, but I gained extremely low amounts. So that's on the low end of gaining. I was probably 196 or 7 a week out. So I'd only gain like maybe 2 pounds, but like that's really quite rare. Most people would gain a lot more. So it's not really normal per se to only gain that much. So if I had gone from 193 to 210, that's still normal. That's still not like crazy, okay? So think of 10% above your stage weight or maybe 5% above where you were a week out. But if it goes to 15%, so if you were 200 on stage and you're now 230, it's problem time. If you were 100 pounds and now you're 115, that's a problem. If you're 150 and now you're 170, that's a problem, okay? So when you get to that level, this is what you should do. You should right away cut out your carbs. Carbs store water, 3 grams of water for every gram of carb. So if you cut out carbs, you will lose weight and lose weight fast. The treadmill, get on it. Boom, you're gonna lose some weight. You're gonna burn off the carbs, you're gonna burn off some water, and you're gonna get leaner, okay? Stop eating a bunch of carbs, get on the treadmill, and stop drinking a ton of water. You're already 30 pounds over your weight. You don't need more water. Your body is already hydrated. Okay, there's tons of water in your body. You don't need to shove back another 4 liters of water. Don't cut out and drink nothing. Just be normal about it, okay? The longer you do this, carb depletion back again, the more you're gonna lose weight. Very fast, you're gonna lose 5 pounds. You might lose 10 pounds in a day. You might be back down 15 pounds in 2 or 3 days. It is fast. So then once you're back into the normal, you can go back to eating your pre-contest diet with, say, 1 cheat a day on top of that, okay? So that's it. That's all you need to do. Now remember, if it's not working, doctor, go to the doctor, go to the hospital, tell them you're an idiot and that you used drugs and that you did diuretics and that you're gonna die because you're a moron, and they'll fix you, or at least they'll try to. Don't be like, oh, I can't tell the doctor that I did diuretics. That's what everyone tells me. Like 9 out of 10 people that I talk to, they can't admit to their doctor what they do. What is the point of the doctors? They don't know anything because no one tells them anything. So most people's doctors have no clue what steroids are do. Most people's, like I know more than most doctors about what the harmful effects of steroids are, because at least most people tell me what they're actually doing. So I can actually say, oh, they'll tell me they're taking D-bol and test and tren and all this, and they'll go to their doctor and say, oh, I don't take anything. I don't know why I'm having all these weird problems. And then the doctor has to assume that like they're telling the truth and they can't help them. So, you know, doctors are there to help you, but if you don't tell them anything, they can't help you, okay? So tell somebody, tell me, and then I'll tell you to go to the doctor and tell you to tell them what you're taking, and then they can maybe try to fix you. It's better than dying, okay? Okay, as far as chugging a lot of water after you get on stage, think of it as having hypothermia and then going into a hot bath right away. So you've been outside and you fell under ice and you're freezing, and then all of a sudden you get home and you're like, jump into the scalding hot water to heat yourself up real quick. That is not healthy. That's not good. It's a gradual thing. So when you have to hydrate after a show, it's a gradual thing. You don't just chug 4 liters of water. You drink water, you wait, you know, and then you drink a bit more. Let your body get used to it and don't go crazy all of a sudden. Okay. You need to accept the fact that you are not going to look as freakishly lean and dry as you were on stage after the show. It's a mind F-U-C-K. It is just mentally, you've dieted for 16 weeks and seeing yourself here, and then leaner, boom, and you like are shredded. Especially on show day with the tan and the diuretics and the anti-estrogens and the peak and the just, boom, you're peeled. You go back to where you were a week ago and you're not gonna look shredded. You're friggin' insane ripped a week out still. But because you saw yourself with the dark tan and the whole thing and the dehydrated, you go back to a week out and you're like, because you've seen yourself getting leaner the whole time, and now it's the back way. And when you go back up, it screws at your head, okay? I know that when I do a show, like right now, I feel really super lean. Like I feel lean, you know? Like I'm probably 9% or 8 or 9 or whatever. I feel like super cut. If I do a show and I get down to like 4% and then like a week or 2 later I look like I am now, I would feel like fat. Like literally I'd be like, holy, like what is all this fat on my body? Because you're so used to seeing like shredded that you get back to where a normal lean person is and you don't feel it anymore. So the show's done and then you went down and now you're going up. So every week you see fatter body and it can screw with your head. That can lead to eating disorders. I mean, think of it. We're in a sport being judged on what you look like. What kind of a healthy sport is that? It's not. It's not healthy to be like scrutinizing your body of, oh my God, I have too much fat here. Oh, I don't see enough striation. Like, man, you're already looking amazing. The fact that you got up on a stage means you look, even if you got last place, means you look better than most people. So to put so much pressure on yourself that you don't look good, it's not good. Now, I'm not saying gain as much fat as you can and don't look at yourself and don't care. I'm just saying don't expect to be 4% body fat, or if you're a girl, like 12% or something. You have to be realistic, okay? So body fat, girls, 25% is probably where you should stop. If you're a competitor, you don't want to gain any more than that. Guys, 15%. That's about as much fat as, if you get more than that, it's not helping you. I'm not saying don't, I'm saying it's not beneficial. It's just gonna make the diet harder. 18 to 22% athletic girls, 12% or so for guys. Anything under that, you don't really need to be leaner than that. But, you know, if you can stay around there, then that's awesome. So I would suggest that. Don't abandon the scale. People, they don't like to weigh themselves because it's telling them what actually is happening to their bodies. This is important data that's giving you an idea of what's going on. If you're 200 pounds and you throw out the scale and then a week later you're 230, you don't know it. I don't want to know. Maybe I don't want to know. Well, if you know when you're 210 the day 2, and then you're 215 on day 3, and then you're 220 on day 4, and then you're 225 on day 5, maybe by day 5 you're like, holy shit, I gained 25 pounds. What's wrong with me? I'm gonna do what that Greg guy said in that video. I'm not gonna eat carbs today, or I'm gonna eat like a normal person, only cheat once, or I'm gonna get on the treadmill. And then the next day you're 220, and you're like, oh, thank God. I was 25 pounds over my weight. Now I'm only 20. I'm kind of feeling okay. But if you don't have that scale, it just can keep going up. You're 230. Maybe a month later, you're 260. It could happen, you know? I've seen people gain 15% in 2 days. I've seen that, like, more than once, okay? So I'm saying 15% in a week. People gain 20% in a week. I've seen people gain, like, like, I've read about it. People gain, like, 50 pounds in a week. Like, there's no way that that could ever be healthy. It doesn't matter if you were on Survivor and you didn't eat for a month and you're anorexic and they follow you into a hospital, they're not gonna make you gain any kind of weight like that to be healthy. No matter how skinny you are, how dehydrated, it's not healthy or okay to gain 50 pounds in a week. It's just not, okay? The term reverse dieting, I hear all the time. You're not gonna be able to reverse diet. None of you. And the reason I say that is because, well, some of you are, but I'm gonna win the bet 19 out of 20 times, because you give a reverse diet to people, 19 out of 20 are gonna cheat or not follow it. One is gonna, this one freak that just, they got it going on. Everyone else is not gonna. So what's the point in giving somebody a plan that you know they're not gonna follow? I give people plans after a show to follow, and none of them follow it. Maybe 1 in 20 do. So is it proper for me as a coach to set you up to fail? I'm gonna give you, yeah, the show's over, man. You won, you awesome. Here's your peak off diet plan. And I give them the diet, and it's like broccoli and egg whites and like carb deplete for a week after the show. There's no way they're following that. One person might, but that's it. So I'll give a normal plan. You can have a cheat meal. You can eat normal. Try to eat most of the meals from before and all this stuff. I'm not gonna set you up for failure and give you a diet that I know you can't follow. So this reverse diet of, oh, you just eat 10 more calories this week, and the next week we add and eat 20 more calories, and then we eat 30 more. No one's doing that. They're gonna lie and say, oh yeah, you're a coach. I don't know why I gained 15 pounds this week. I followed the diet exactly as you said. Don't know why. They all cheat. Don't listen to them, you know. Half the time I get clients and they tell me all their stuff, and I'm like, well, I know you cheated, but I mean, I can't just say, yeah, you cheated for sure, but you know that they're cheating. So you just do your best to help them without calling them out too much on it. And you try to convince them that, you know, tell me the real information, what's going on. But anyway, I'll wrap this video up by just saying, don't get out of hand after a show. Know that you're gonna cheat. Know that other people are cheating. It doesn't make you a bad person that you can't follow a diet after you dieted for 4 months, because evolution is making you not be able to do it. If you can follow it, you're just a pure freak. It doesn't mean, like, you can't. Like, after a show, there's no way in hell that I'm gonna eat exactly perfect for a week after the show and follow everything. I'm for sure eating cheats every single day. I just don't go crazy now. I used to just go crazy. Buffets all the time, gained so much weight, not good. Finally, but I mean, I've been at this game for 25 years. I don't have that issue anymore. So I'm giving you advice. Hopefully you can follow it. Hopefully you're healthy, and just keep the scale by your bed or whatever. Let it be a tool, but don't let it screw up your head. Just because the weight's going up doesn't make you a bad person. It just means that you're not maybe healthy and that you should do something about it. Okay? Good luck.